It's time now for a look at the latest in local news. It's a big day here at WIFO FM, as on today's World Famous Mitch and Bob show, we'll have Georgia Governor Brian Kemp calling in as our special guest. He's been on the show several times. He'll be in Jesup, Wayne County for several events this coming Monday. He'll be guest speaker at the local Republican Party Monday at 12 noon at Captain Joe's. Also expected to visit one of the schools on the open day of school. Again, that meeting at Captain Joe's open to the public. But again, you can listen to this morning here from the governor on several topics, including his re-election bid for governor. All that coming up on the World Famous Mitch and Bob show this morning. In the news, a very surprising announcement last night after a short 15-minute executive session at the end of a 2-hour City Hall meeting. Just Mayor David Earl Keith has announced he's stepping down as mayor, and his last day will be September 1st. Here was the mayor making the announcement last night.
Great deal of soul searching, family conference, and prayer. I'm attending my resignation of mayor of the city of Jesup effective September the 1st. The events playing out behind the scenes of the Olympic illustrate the fact that there is a cost to everything, and it is wise to realize when personal cost exceeds a place in public arena. While serving until the end of my term would have been my intention, I feel with the dynamics too at work, the city commissioners can move ahead without any disruption. Next to my dear family, my wife, our children, Hannah, Sydney, and Garrett, serving as your mayor has been my most fulfilling, joyous part of my adult life. I was greatly influenced by my father-in-law, Riley Reddish, Sheriff of Wayne County and Georgia State Senator. He really demonstrated that quality of public servant, and I always said, you don't do it for the money, you do it to help the people. I look back on the past 7 years, and I think I've lived up to my campaign promises to leave Jesup a better place than when I took office. Together with the city commissioners, the city employees, and auxiliary people, and the time and advice of untold numbers of our citizens, I think we've accomplished more than we could have ever imagined. I'm especially proud of being included in so many public meetings and endeavors of our community and feel enriched by those opportunities in which I've always tried to participate. And I will carry with me all the fond acquaintances and friendships I have made as I move throughout our wonderful city. That is a blessing that tops anything else. I thank my colleagues at State Farm for making it easier for me to carry out my civic responsibilities. I thank my wife and my entire family for unselfishly supporting me during my absences. And I thank each member of our city and our county for giving me this supreme honor and opportunity to try to make a positive and significant difference. I may not carry the title, but I will always carry the commitment to keep making the best better. Nothing happens without a dream, and I've certainly lived mine. I hope others out there will live the dream of public service, and that our community will continue dreaming on improving this beautiful city. And I want to thank all of y'all very much. Thank you. We adjourn.
And once again, a very surprising announcement last night. Don't think anyone saw this coming. Still a couple years left in his term. There is a city election this November, and also the special election will be held at that time. We'll have to check with the city attorney, Michael Connor, on that later. But again, now Jesup searching for not only a full-time city manager, but now a new mayor. Last night's meeting, again, over 2 hours long. We'll have a lot more from the meeting in the next several days here on the local news. Some of the highlights: the mayor's brother, Dale Keith, IDA director on hand, looking to have a 300-acre tract of land on Highway 84 for the industrial park rezoned from R1 to light industrial. It received a unanimous vote last night. Here's the presentation last night from IDA director Dale Keith.
The IDA has been working on this project for a number of years to prepare Jesup and Wayne County for the future. The site was the #1 site selected by both state and power company site consultants. The benefits were as follows. 90% of the land acreage is considered to be usable in upland acres. Access to Highway 84 as a 4-lane. Provide larger tracts which meet industry requests. Significant cost savings to provide water and sewer of over $2 million to the community of Wayne County. Increase water and sewer tax revenues for the city and county in the future. It's connected to the existing industrial park, eventually creating a back door for the existing park to limit the traffic on Sunset Boulevard. While we have county residents that could be adversely affected, we have done everything we can to limit those issues of lighting, sound, and dust. We're constructing a 15-foot berm, which will be covered in vegetation and trees to limit the sight and sound issues. The county's agreed to let us use the water truck to hold down the dust until the berm is completed. We placed a fence and gate to limit after-hours traffic until proper entrance can be constructed. And we would like to ask you folks to consider changing that to L1.
And once again, the commissioners did that last night by unanimous vote. Again, the 300-acre tract of land on Highway 84 right down from the Jesup radio station. Second piece of property also rezoned and approved for a daycare center last night on 168 Hamburg Street. That rezoned from R2 to C3. Commissioner Todd expressing concern that a lot of residential property being rezoned commercial. Two residents in the neighborhood were on hand asking that the commissioners simply not rezone it, but to vote 4-2 in favor, with Commissioners Todd and Nick Harris voting against. Again, both those properties approved last night by the commissioners. We'll come back with a lot more from the meeting and a lot more going on in the school system. All that right after this word from our sponsor, the commercial messages, so please stay tuned. And the city meeting last night lasted over 2 hours. We have more from the meeting all this week here on the local news. Tyrone Johnson was on hand addressing meeting protocols and workforce diversity in the city of Jesup. Sharon Daniel on hand criticizing the city's search for a new city manager, claiming the cost is way too much and the firm they're using has a former local Wayne Countyans. She claims that's somehow biased. Again, we'll have all that and the hypocrisy of that tomorrow on the local news. We have late breaking news from the school system as the Delta variant continues to be a problem. Dr. Kelly, Wayne County School Superintendent with schools to open Monday and open house set for Thursday, is relying on information from local health care professionals in the states to protect the health and safety of Wayne County students, staff, and families. Masks will now be required. Here's the press release that he sent to the students, staff, and families. It says, thank you for your support of the Wayne County school system as we prepare to open schools for the 2021-2022 school year. It was my greatest hope to open schools as near as normal as possible. Unfortunately, we're experiencing an increase in positive COVID-19 cases in our community, which requires us to begin the school year operating under cautious conditions. And he understands the uncomfortable nature of this announcement. He says those students and their families want to move forward and put this pandemic behind them. Unfortunately, they're not at that point. So again, masks are being required for students and staff. They'll be required to wear a mask, face covering while inside school system facilities and on school buses. Again, schools will return to cautious operating procedures for the school day. Schools will be limiting access to persons who are not employees of the school system or enrolled as students. Again, schools will hold open house this coming Thursday, but again, masks are required. Again, as far as students and staff who test positive for COVID, they'll continue to follow the Department of Public Health guidelines, which require you to stay home for 10 days. And symptoms first appeared in the fever. Again, reducing medication or for 24 hours before returning to school or when cleared by a physician. Wayne County School System will return to cautious conditions for the school year for 2021-22. Again, all that announcement yesterday by the school superintendent. Again, students and staff required to wear masks. Open house again set for this Thursday from 3:30 to 6. And again, if you're heading to that open house, they are asking that you wear a mask to the open house. Other school news: Turning Point Worship Center is conducting a back-to-school food program today from 10 to 12 noon. That's taking place at the church. We're also conducting a back-to-school supply giveaway this Saturday from 10 to 12 noon. School supplies, haircuts, and manicures this Saturday at Turning Point Worship Center. Again, that takes place Saturday from 10 to 12, but the food giveaway today between 10 and 12 noon. We'll come back with a final news note right after this word from our sponsor, the commercial messages, so please stay tuned. A couple final notes in news. Again, a reminder, Wayne Memorial Hospital this Friday offering the Moderna COVID-19 vaccine to those 18 and older. Again, it's a free vaccine from 11 to 2 p.m. in the main conference room. Public can enter through the front doors of the hospital or the side entry at the cafeteria patio. There is no charge, no need for an appointment. Again, that takes place Friday from 11 to 2 at Wayne Memorial Hospital. Finally, in the news, everyone knows the board game Monopoly, and colleges like UJ have their own version entitled Dogopoly. But now the city of Jesup has its own board game entitled Jesupology. It's available here at your local Walmart. On the board, you can still pass go and collect $200. In this game, you can purchase the Farmers Market, Jones Kitchen, the Jesup Drive-In, just to name a few businesses on the board game. Several months ago, local manager and hometown resident Warren Walgamuth at Walmart reached out to a vendor to put together the game. Other cities have similar games, so it's not an original idea, but still unique and a collector's item. Such landmarks as the Altamar River, Bill Morris Park, Rainier, the Pine Forest Country Club, also on the board game. Again, it's been a big hit. Once again, available here at your local Walmart in Jesup. That's going to do it for latest in local news. Sports comes your way in a few minutes. Bob Morgan, have a great day.